Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Truth Tuesday show with your host, Akeem L, here on Hindsight Radio, the information station changing the nation. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth. Hope everybody's doing good. As you can see on the screen, I just want to make sure my audio is good. It seems like it is. Wait a minute. Wrong mic. Let's get some. All right. Um, on the screen, we got the Saturday, April 23rd, 2022 seminar. It's the Religious Status Correction Seminar where we will be talking about status correction, religious passport, religious trust, religious exemption, religious unincorporated association. And more. I got some more stuff I want to talk about if time permits. Those student loans that I was able to help get rid of. So we'll be talking about that too. So the donation is $250. If you're in my membership, there's a code in the membership. It's only a few left because it's still some left. Remember, I was only offering 20 of those, and some people have already bought it. So thank you to those who are going to attend. So if you're in a membership, I suggest you attend. If you're not in the membership, it's a $250 donation online or at the door. So get on my mailing list. Go to akeeml.com. Put your email in there because I may send out a coupon for non-members. It won't be as steep as the members, but it will be a discount. Let's see. But I want my members to get first stab at it before I put that coupon out. So I will be putting that coupon out by the end of the week. Remember, it's limited to 20 people either way. So members, get in there and get your discount. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and start the show. Let's see. How shall we start the show? Let's see. Something old, something new. Let's do. Yeah, let's. Here we go. All right. Once again, driver's license webinar 2. Thanks for tuning in. And you guys are gonna get a lot of information. I'm gonna go over some little bit of history on why I did another webinar. And then I'm gonna we're just gonna be mainly dealing with the templates, what to give them, how to deal with the opposition, because always there's some type of opposition. And remember, when you're getting opposition, check your attitude, because a lot of opposition, most of the opposition comes from your perception of the people you're dealing with. In this community, in this space, a lot of people have a negative look at the people in government. And you have to remember, these people are doing a job. They went to school. They believe they're doing something right in their mind from their world perception. That's what they think. So if you come at them with hostilities, you're going to be met back with hostilities. Even if you have that thought in your mind, it can help. It could possibly get you rejected. Yes, some places are tougher than others. But remember, you are the creator of all things you are experiencing, and take responsibility for that. All right. I know on the screen you guys see my Department of State authenticated passport application. Where was I? All right. This process, I would like for everyone. A few of you, I know you already done my passport process. I don't know if everybody's done it, but this is to be done after you do the passport process, if you can. Some of you guys got issues with the IRS, got issues with child support that will not allow you to get a passport until that is rectified. So one of the documents you're going to be submitting is your authenticated copy of your passport application, along with the other stuff I'm going to show you. So that's what I'm adding to it. Plus, I changed the language in some of the documents, and I'm also adding years ago we talked about the injunction. So that has been changed. It's kind of, you can still look at it like an injunction, but that is going to be an option you can include with submitting your paperwork. All right. Someone said they're waiting for 2 months for the authentication. Yes, authentication takes a while. Sometimes they call you, and if you don't answer, they'll send you a letter. But it took me 3-4 months to get mine back, and COVID has not been helping that situation out at all. All right, so let's go to, close your screen out. Let's go here. I'm gonna share the screen in a minute. As soon as all right. Every state, well, I won't say every. Yes, Michael, you have to request.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
All right, let's go over here, share the screen. All right. Peace, everybody. Thanks for tuning in again. Thanks for all the loyal support to a lot of the listeners who give donations. The donation option is running across the screen. This is not a free enterprise. It costs money to keep all of this running. And I thank everybody that who supports. But we can always use more. So tonight, the title of the show, 1099, Is It Real? Call in and share your stories. Reason why I'm doing this, because I'm still getting people who are interested in this topic because they see this one video on YouTube of this guy claiming that you can use it as a check and walk into a dealership and get a car. And this appeals to a lot of people, when they can get something free. They can get something basically for nothing just by filling out some paperwork. And for some reason, I know the reasons, it's a few reasons. Some people are struggling. So this is an easy way out. Some people are just greedy. So this is another easier way out. So they figure they could do these processes and get something. Let me see if I didn't open up my mic in Blog Talk. So what should I say about this whole thing? I've never seen this stuff work. I've had people present it to me in a million ways. I even have a book that talks about this, and it's never worked. And what I don't get is what people don't understand about what proof is. Just because someone says something worked, that's not proof. You see? That is not proof that something worked. What proof is that you yourself or someone and you got the documentation, you went in there and you came out with what you said you went in for by doing this 1099A process. That's proof. Everybody is throwing out theory, you have to do it this way. This is the way it's done. Okay. I had a lot of people who disputed me the other day on the video. I said, well, okay, no problem. Go shut me up. Go get the proof and show me what you saying is real. Show me. Just go get it. Hey, I did this. This is how I filled it out, put it in. And this is what tonight's show is dedicated to. You could call in at 563-999-3615. If you are one of those people who believe this works and you have a case and you want to share it with me and tell me why you believe it works. But I already know that nobody's going to get on here and get on him and talk to me about it. Show me any proof. I already know that there's not going to be any proof tonight. I'm not going to get any callers. I know that. If I do get a caller, it's still not going to be proof. I know it. It's listen, people. There's one way for success. One way. Put it in your mind that you want to be successful at something. Go for it and work hard at it. And don't let anybody stop you. This whole idea of getting something for nothing always leads to problems. Always. If problems I'm talking about, a lot of time spent going after these things, a lot of headaches if you don't get in trouble with the law, because they're going to try to say you did something fraudulent, things like that. Why put yourself in jeopardy? How about just go out there, create a business, or work on your passion, something that you're really dedicated to and you feel strongly about. How about working on something and making that work and make money at it? This is my passion, teaching the public, teaching you guys about how to set your status correction, and then sharing my contacts of people that can help you do other things. Now, I teach people, I don't teach, but I introduce you to people who uses the 1099A with their trust and file them properly. I mean, him and I even had strong conversations about, about this whole 1099A, using it as a check. So he says the same thing. Show me the proof. Show me the proof that it works. I get on. I've done many videos. Come on, hey, I talked about discharge, how much that's junk. I talked about negotiable instruments, how much that's junk as well. It's people on here listening can tell you they've tried it. They gave it. Listen, I give you A for effort for giving it a shot. I've done everything they're talking about. I've tried it. I have. I told you I was gonna pull out my files and show y'all stacks of papers that I built up trying that mess. And all I did was spend a lot of time when I could have been studying something that was more beneficial. And I figured that out. That's how come I'm good at what I do. That's how come I get remedy. That's how come I was able to help get rid of over $90,000 worth of student loans with one letter. One letter. I showed y'all the proof of that. One freaking letter. I just showed how I was able to do that. Go to the video I did 2 videos earlier. I showed you guys. I didn't show you the letter. No. Some people complain, oh, I don't give it to people straight. I speak in tongues. I speak in parables. Yes, I do that. Because I'm appealing to the spiritual side of you. To get you out of that low vibrational thinking that keeps you from seeing the truth of what's really going on out here. And the truth is that the only way to freedom is by this. Putting forth the kingdom of heaven first, then all these things shall be added to you. The kingdom of God, there's different translations of that. Put that first. Work on your spirituality first. I promise you, once you get that in order, everything, your finances, your relationships, you become a better person. You begin to love and appreciate yourself more. Once you do that, the reason why people are not happy with themselves because they are not in line with their spiritual nature. They're in line with the physical. They're in line with what they can touch and feel and see. But they forget the one principle, that things that are seen come from the things that are unseen, meaning the things that you conjure up in the higher consciousness of your mind. And I'm very specific about the higher consciousness because you can have stuff in your mind, but it may not be higher consciousness thinking. Ooh, that was strong. I can tell I haven't had that in a minute, so like getting used to it. Got backwash with some water. Man, go for the spiritual things, the intangible. Work on your spirituality. Get whatever it is you believe to be spiritual to you. Go and study that. Read that. Make it a habit every day to participate or do something that's spiritual. And sometimes I don't even follow that advice. I forget that I need to make this a ritual every day. I had it a ritual, then I got out of it, then I got distracted. Then whenever I get distracted, I'm all over the place, and I feel like that I'm not connected. It always comes back that I'm not doing my spiritual work first before I start my day. And when I don't get it, when I'm not in my spiritual side, I am not a good person to even be dealing with. So, and I'm recognizing that more and more that I must be steadfast in working on my spiritual side and getting this is how I get answers all the time. This is how I'm able to do these shows and just speak because I tap into the spirit and I ask for the truth. I don't ask for, oh, I want this. I say the truth. And whatever that truth is, I accept what that is. And sometimes those truths become harsh things to deal with. And you're going to run into that too when you start asking for the truth. Stop asking for these makeshift processes. I want to make this 1099 work. I deal with people all the time. They're trying to hold on to their house. And they try, instead of just making a deal and getting out of that stressful situation, they want to fight to the end, facing foreclosure and facing these shelvers stuff. What kind of life is that? You always trying to be one step ahead of these courts and these sheriffs who's trying to take your house. That's not a life. And that's not you putting forth the kingdom of heaven. Because even if you're in that situation, and if you're in that situation and you're working, let's say you made the mistake. You went in there, you tried these processes, didn't work, you're facing foreclosure, you're trying to take the house. It's time to face the reality that what you tried didn't work. But face this reality that I need to go to a higher source for my answer. And that higher source is within you. Going into your higher mind and not look for somebody's process to fix it. Go within you. Go within. This is what I'm trying to teach you guys. To rely on you. You are the only one with all the answers for you. I am simply a finger pointing back at you to look into you and your consciousness. That's all I'm here for. I'm not here to, I do show people how to do different processes on a physical level, but when it comes to spiritual, I always say, go within you. And what is your spirit telling you? What is your spirit telling you about your situation? What is your spirit telling you about that foreclosure you're facing? What is your spirit telling you about that job you want to quit? What is it telling you? And if your spirit is telling you, let me explain something about so you can decide whether you're hearing the spirit or you're hearing the ego. The spirit is very quiet and it doesn't give roundabout answers. It's either yes or no. You ask direct answers, direct questions, and you'll get a yes or no. This is how I do. It's just me. I say, is this a good situation? Yes or no? And the first thing that pops up, that's the answer. The truth of you, the higher consciousness of you do not give you, well, maybe, if you went around the corner and this and that, that's ego. That's operating on a pure physical realm, and it's always going to give you mixed signals. But the spirit is very quiet, and it will not compete with your ego. It'll let the ego run rampant and do whatever. till you decide to calm down and stop listening to the ego, then it'll start talking to you again. Okay, you ready to listen now? Here it is. And very quietly, it'll give you the answer. That's you. That's your true self in there. That ego is the false self. That's the self that was created when you came out of your mom's womb, the divine portal. That's the ego that was created from your mom, your dad, your friends, your relatives, all trying to tell you who you are and what you should and shouldn't do. And you picked up all of these outside external things coming at you about what you should and shouldn't do. And you created this false illusion of yourself and said, this is who I am. I'm the CPA. I'm the nurse. I'm a vegetarian. I'm a meat eater. All of these things you calling yourself. These are the things, the reason, just think about it. Think about on your diet level. The reason why you're eating a certain diet is because someone told you that that was a better diet. And you went for it. And you did it. And it could be. And here's the thing about diets. This is what I discovered because I tried vegetarian and I went back to eating meat. But this is what I discovered about diets. As long as it's a healthy diet, it's a good diet. Now, that could include meat. And here's why I say that. The universe is about balance. And sometimes a vegetarian diet is needed to heal a specific problem. Like, for instance, if you have heart issues and you have blood pressure issues, a vegetarian diet is the ideal diet to fix that. But long term, over years, a vegetarian diet may not be good because you start to notice that your bones are not as strong, depending on what you're eating. Remember, you're not growing food here. You're buying stuff out of grocery stores to feed yourself. And that's all processed. I don't care if it's an apple in the produce department. It is still processed. And you're not getting 100%, organically created food. These guys are manipulating it. Unless you are the one who is in there doing everything, you don't know what's going into your body if you bought it from a grocery store. Everything out of a grocery store is processed food. I don't care what it is. All processed. Even those vegetables, processed. Okay? Just letting you know. So this is just me. Everything has to be done in balance. Just like with angry and happy. You can't be happy all the time. You can't be angry all the time. You have to bring it into balance. And sometimes anger is needed, especially when it comes to defend your family. Like, for instance, the whole Will Smith slap, whether that's real or not, I don't know. But I'm like, if someone's disrespecting my wife publicly, we got problems. And I was saying, well, violence is it. No, listen, if you don't have a violent man when it's necessary, then you're not safe. Because men do have to use violence to protect their family. Okay? You're gonna have to pull that trigger, you're gonna have to throw that haymaker to protect your family. All right? So, I wasn't like, oh, yeah, he disrespecting his wife. Yeah, he should have got his head knocked off. The slap was a minimal thing there. That's the way I see it. Come on, brothers. See, they had got us brothers that we supposed to be taking all of that nonsense. Nah, you got to put that stuff in check. Yo, bro, you ain't going to come out your mouth sideways about my wife without receiving some retribution from me. Oh, that's not spiritual. What is spiritual? What's the definition of spiritual? Because all the spiritual texts I've read, there was some violence going on to make a point. Because we're living in a world where people do evil things. Say somebody does something to your child, molest or do something like that. What you gonna do about that? You gonna let that slide? Oh, I let the Lord. Nah, hell no. There's certain things you you should be willing to do a stretch for. That's just me. You don't have to listen to me. What I'm saying, I'm telling you, me. Somebody do something strict, do something crazy to we got problems. Okay? We're gonna have a problem here. And it's my job as a man to defend and protect my family. So violence is needed at times. Shoot, we don't even, this country wouldn't be what it was if it wasn't for violence. Okay? That's why they having a war now. Okay? You see, that's how you keep things in balance. Because when someone's trying to perpetrate an evil on you, you bringing back balance. Yo, you come on with your evil. I'm gonna meet you even with more to back you up off. So being spiritual doesn't mean you just sit there, cross your legs, and no. Being spiritual is recognize that there's a balance that's needed. There's a time for everything. There's even a scripture that talks about there's a time for things, appointed time. So back to the 1099A stuff, 1099s and any other discharge process. Recognize these guys have been teaching these for years, the same stuff. New people come on the scene and start teaching it themselves. And none of these people, not one of them, have shown any success in these fields. Not one. And I know some of the most elite teachers of this stuff, and not one of them have come ever since I've been on this scene and showed any proof that it worked. All they should tell you is, they don't have to take it if they don't want to. You didn't do it right. It's their fault. They're evil. They just messing with you. Keep doing it. Keep sending it over and over and over and over again until they take it. Stringing you along. That sounds right on the level of Christ coming back to save people. That's what it sounds like to me. See, it's 7:39. I didn't open it up, put it out there. Call in 563-999-3615. So I just open it up for anybody to come in and say whatever they got to say. Come on in. Yes. Amor Maxim, it's good to get a CPA. That's who I have in my group. He's a CPA. He does the 1099s, or he teaches exactly how to do it. In the actual membership, there are videos on how to do them correctly. How to do them correctly. And none of them teach people how to walk in there with a 1099 and treat it like a check. None of that is taught there. So I'm just, do I teach? I don't teach. I introduce you to the person who knows it and been doing it for 20 plus years. I introduce you to the proper channels that teach that correctly. These other off the cuff, off the wall things, you don't teach that. He'll tell you that. Yes, sir, Maximore. Yes, you're right. At a Maxim. Yes. All right, so let's see who's in the chat while we wait for whoever going to get on and try to say something. We got a lot of people on. I don't know why, come on. Listen, it's open for everybody to get in. 563-999-3615, because it's a long shot for the people to come in who support this process to come in and try to talk to me. See, they stay away from me for one reason, because I asked for one thing: proof. That isn't proof will shut down all of this talk with, hey, if I'm wrong, I will publicly say, hey, I apologize. I was wrong in saying it doesn't work. I will. But this is going on for months now, and no one they see these videos. Share with your friends who believe in it. Share to friends. Come on, prove me wrong. He said, DJ B Thunder said, guy said he was going to sue me after I said that he was selling lies. He said, you signed the NDA. Okay, tell them this. Here it is, DJB. If it's fraudulent, an NDA doesn't matter. The law does not support wrongdoing. Okay? The law does not support wrongdoing. You can't, NDA doesn't hold up if you are selling fraud. So, and if you ever had that problem, you know who to come to, and I'll help you out. This is why they want y'all to sign NDAs. So you can't complain openly. Yes, you can. If it's fraud, yes, it's fraud. How you gonna think about that? He take that to court, and you break out what he's talking about. How that's gonna hold up? The court ain't gonna support that. Man, these guys, please. You already know who got your back on that one. Jeff, I can't pronounce your last name, so I'll just call you Jeff. Said, I haven't seen any actual proof. And see, what Jeff just said is what I keep getting from people. This is what I get. I get people who complain and say, I tried it, it didn't work. Or I get this, or something close to that. And every now and then I get a person who said, like, somebody got on the stream last time I was doing it. Hey, you hating on the process. This guy is giving it to me straight, giving it to you straight. You talking parables. Wait a minute, hold up. Yes, I do talk in parables. But the people who study understand what I'm saying. But the thing I want to talk about is you said that guy's giving it to you straight. Okay, if it's straight, then take the information he gave you straight, use it, come tell me how it worked. If it worked, hey, okay. I don't think I'm asking for a whole lot here when I say, if I can use this thing as a check and walk into a dealership with it, mind you, I tried that years ago. Tried it. Walked in there with 1099s, all this paperwork, nothing. All I got was nothing. Zero. Nothing happened. Okay? All right. Understand what the laws are, DJB. The law doesn't support fraud. The law doesn't support lies. If you've been defrauded, NDAs won't stand up. Okay? Now, if you try to tell people his specific process, how this is done, that's a different. But listen, you can play, hey, listen, I gave you all this money, you full of it. Okay? Discipline discipleship ministry said they get people who have heard this information for the first time till they learn better, but I had to learn the same way, but I studied to see different. I got no proof. LOL. Right. Right. Listen, and you said a mouthful, they get new people. They get the new people just getting into this information, and they get caught up and they do it, just like they got me. So they got a never-ending supply of people who will come in and try this stuff. Well, hopefully, if I keep doing videos like this, they'll run across this video. Because I didn't have any videos like this when I started it. I didn't have that. I didn't have that assistance with people. I had people on the outside said it wasn't work, but I didn't have anybody who had just sat me down and just said what I'm saying. Show me proof. Prove it wrong. Prove me wrong. I'm wrong a lot of times. Yes, I am. I am wrong a lot. And when I'm wrong, I sometimes, especially with my wife, I might have a hard time admitting it, but I do admit it. I'm wrong. Okay? But I'll tell you what I'm not wrong about. When I showed you guys how to do your nationality correctly, when I showed you how to do your name change correctly, when I show you how to get rid of these student loans, I got so many success stories on that. Think about this. If you get rid of the student loans, you don't have to write a 1099-A. You don't have to do anything special. Let me help y'all understand something about student loans and why they're so easy to get rid of without coughing up a dime. And it's the rule y'all always forget.
when you signed up for your loan, who was there at the table with you? The financial aid office of the school? They're not officers of the bank, right? The bank that gave you the loan and it's fun, they don't work. They just push people over to this bank. Where was the person from the bank who represented the bank that said, I am doing this loan, the underwriters, all of this, I'm doing this loan for your education so that you could be successful in life? Where were they? They were not there. So right there on his face, that loan is no good. Right at that point. Right there at that point. It's no good. Because you need a bank representative to be sitting there, authorizing it, and a third party to witness it. That's why when if you ever bought a house, there's about, I know when I bought mine, there was about 1, 2, 4 people in the room. Only person that wasn't there was the bank representative, but there was lawyers there for the seller. Then I had my closing attorney. All of these people are witnesses to the transaction. They don't do that with student loans. And everything's done electronically. Who said you was on that computer filling all that out? You did it? I'm not saying you did or you didn't. I'm just saying, who can prove that you did it? Who can prove it? See, it's not about whether you did or you didn't. It's about the proof. Isn't that what Training Day taught y'all that? He said, it's not about what you know, it's about what you can prove. Told them all the time, it's about what you can prove. And we know that the one Achilles heels all these debt collectors have is bringing proof against you in a court of law. They have no proof. They don't have good proof. They might have an affidavit that says, yeah, I looked at my computer screen. This is the gist of what they say. And this is the debt I see on this name. That's not proof. That's just saying what your computer says. And it's got millions of other names in there. That doesn't say that that's a valid debt. And so many people lose just off of statements like that because it's an affidavit. And if you don't rebut affidavits, it stands as truth. That's one of the maxims of law, right? So me, I'm rebutting that. Listen, that's not proof. Your Honor, I'm sorry. I know, nice attempt, but we can't even consider that as evidence. That's just saying, supporting their biased opinion about this debt that's in their computer. I don't have control over it. Who's coming in and forensically checking all of these files and make sure that they're accurate? Because when to say I owe money, I need someone under penalty and perjury to say that I owe this amount of money to the last penny. So all you need to do is structure a letter to say, let's just say it's Navient. There's the one sending you the bill. I'm about to show y'all how to get rid of y'all debt just by, and y'all need to be writing this down. Write this down. See, I give stuff away free. I do. But some of y'all, I want the whole template. I can't comprehend. But listen, stop what you're doing. Sit down, because I'm about to break this down and show you the simple elements of what your letter needs to say. We're not going there saying we do or we don't owe anything. All I know is, number one, I never took a loan out with Navient. I don't know who you guys are. Who are you guys sending me these things saying I owe all of this money? Who are you? And you guys are reporting this stuff like I owe you. I don't have a contract with you. Number two, I don't know you. Number one, who are you? I see you reporting this. And the law said this must be accurate. I never signed a contract with you. Y'all writing it down? Number three, this needs to be removed immediately or updated immediately because there is no proof. I have no records of ever doing business with Navient at all. You have 30 days to respond. Very simple. I just gave y'all the source. I just gave it to you. Now make sure you include your name, your address, the account numbers that they're reporting. Give them the social they're reporting on, saying this is who I am, but you guys are reporting this. This information doesn't match anything on my records of ever doing business with you guys at all. And let me know how that works for you. The reason why I'm telling you to do this way is because I'm never going to reveal the letter that I helped this individual use. Because once you start doing the same thing over and over, you're going to have pushback. So you need to craft your own letter that's identical to you, that's unique to you. This is the time why I started off with going to the spiritual, go and tapping in, putting forth the kingdom of heaven. Go into your higher mind and draft your own unique letter with those key points I just brought up and send it off. Certified return receipt. And this is a perfect time to do it because they got money to forgive. You think they're going to spend their time trying to track all this stuff down that they can't track down? Some of y'all got loans going back to the early 2000s. Right? Go get that stuff off your back. So get that monkey off your back. Just imagine you get a credit report after you do this. It's send you paid in full. It's off your credit report, and you never put up a dime. All you did was question them and say, listen, I never did anything with you. Prove this, blah, 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 blah. You see? You see? I hear you, Falcon Mail. There you go. Go help your family out. Help yourself and your family out with that. You see? I just gave you, listen, if you have those elements in your letter, you're going to get a response. Trust me, you're going to get one. I'm not saying it's going to happen as fast as this individual, but you're going to get boom. And if you don't get the response that you like, you send it again. Don't change the letter. Second notice, opportunity cure. Third notice, default. Unfortunately for this person, they sent it one time and boom, credit report updated. They actually sent the letter with their own letterhead saying paid in full. You can't rescind that letter. That's evidence. This is your letterhead saying paid in full. You come back later. Oh, wait a minute. You said it's paid in full. You said. You said, do we send a letter to student loan address or credit? No, you send it to the person reporting it on your credit report, not the credit bureau. Credit bureau is just going to go and try to do all this crazy stuff. Okay? And suppress your credit at the same time. Now, this person didn't suppress their credit until after they sent the letter, maybe a month or so after, but suppress your credit at the same time. Do you do a suppression? What do you call, opt out of them sharing your information? LexisNexis, I think it's Sage Stream, and then it's Lenovis and other people out there. That it's just a list of them. I don't remember the whole list. One day when I get the whole list, I'll do a show and just show y'all how to suppress your credit, right? Yeah. Go handle y'all business. Don't listen, I help y'all out. I told y'all. So, like I said, you want a unique letter to use. So, because what they do is once a letter gets used a lot, they treat it as a chain and then they start doing pushback. So, I gave y'all the key information that it needs to say. Now you just use your own words. You don't have to sound like a lawyer. Just basically say those things and you're good. Remember, you did not sign a note with Navient and all these other people that's saying want you to pay them. You didn't sign anything. So you're not lying or misleading anything. You didn't. And just challenging on that level will get you some results. Watch y'all see a whole bunch of videos talking about what I just said. How much y'all want to bet? What y'all looking at on this screen and listening to is the trailblazer of everything that other people are doing. I'm at the top of the food chain, baby. All right? And I'm not bragging. Why? Because this is my calling. This is my calling. That's why I get so many results. Let me just honestly, who's in it? Somebody's on the line. Y'all want to, I see 787-974 up there. If you want to speak to me, press 1. 563-999-3615. The lines are still open. No one is wanting to get on and talk. Don't be ashamed. Come on in. Say what you got to say. Say what you got to say. Let your voice be heard. Dr. Mel said good stuff. Now, I just gave you exactly what I did to help this person get rid of those loans. I just gave you that. If I'm messing with this mic, I left my little thing for my mic, so I'm got it kind of Jimmy rig down here. So, yeah. So go back to that video I did. I showed y'all what the report said. And that just happened, a couple of weeks ago. Let's see. Somebody said they tried the International Bill of Exchange. Yeah, that's another one. I know a brother who was trying that. When I first got into it, there was this brother who tried those International Bills of Exchange to pay for his parents' dental office. Needless to say, they lost their dental office trying all these little processes. And he was confused. It's supposed to work. And he was listening to one of these big time people who teach this stuff all the time. He was listening to that. And I had to, it's like you look at it, once you realize that it's a scam, it's not going to work. The people who's caught up in that mentality, they're so caught up in believing what these guys are saying that they don't realize that it's not the entities that's the problem. It's who you're listening to is the problem. These people are not your friends. They're looking for listeners. They're looking for your money. Yes, do I want you guys to do business with me and patronize me and pay me for things? Yes, there's no doubt about it. But here's why I set myself apart. I want to do good business with you. I want to do long-term business with you. I want you to be able to invite me to your house and say, this is the guy who'll help me. These guys that you are paying just think about this on this level. Let me take a sip of this right here. I gotta let the spirit talk on this one. Just think about this right here. All of these people that are teaching you guys, let me get center on this camera here. All these people that are teaching you all these things about what you could do, this discharge, secure party creditor, all these other things. How would you invite these people to your house to meet your family? Would you do that? Would you trust them enough to do that? Or better yet, how accessible are they after they sell you these things? How accessible? They're very accessible when they're about to get that money. But after you get that money, very hard to get them. You see? Very hard. Now, I have rules. I do have rules. If you want to talk to me just on a general tip, get a consultation because I don't have time to be on phone. Listen, I get a lot of emails and I get a lot of calls. If I took every one of those emails and every one of those calls, I would not get anything done. That's why I have a schedule. Certain days that I do these consultations. You know, I have a schedule. Just think about this. Before you do business with these people, would you have these people come to the house and sit at your table with your family? And if you can't do that, then that's not somebody you should be doing business with. I have actually gone to people's houses and sat at their table with their family because I come off as a trustworthy person, that I'm not there to do them harm or take something from. And see, one of the things, like I went over brother Rico house. I haven't been over there in a while. We gotta get together fishing. I haven't forgot. I saw your text. I will contact you tomorrow. We're gonna talk about this fishing thing. Got some things that I'm trying to iron out. But went to this brother house. The one way you can know the spirit of a person is to, if they have animals, how those animals react to that person. And all when I was selling cable, things like that, one of the reasons why I was mostly successful, especially with people that they would call a redneck or white folks, whatever, they have animals. And all of their animals will run up to me and lick my hand and want to play with me. Some of the most aggressive animals. Animals know the spirit of people. They do. If you got an animal and a guy coming up and he barking crazy and acting crazy, you might want to check that person to see if you want to let them in your house or not. See something and feel something you are not in tune. You could be in tune with it, but you so caught up in all these outside distractions, you are not in tune with these things. But your animal is. He got a lab all the time. I was able to walk right up to the lab first time. You see? Somebody said because they ignored the truth in their self and believed what they wanted to be true. Right. You're absolutely right, disciple ministry. That's what it is. You ignore all of what your spirit is telling you that this is false. And you try to use the ego to make it right. He said, my first BM, my dogs hated her. Now I know why. They were telling me. Somebody said this is not always true. Yeah, you're right. It may not always be true if you got a dog that's crazy, got some spirit. But listen, I run up on some crazy dogs, and they still I was still able to be able to be around them and not worried about getting bit. I have. Yeah, I agree with that. Psychological issues, yes. Psychological issues, that's true. If a dog got psychological issues, you gotta be careful. Okay, somebody got their hand up. Oh, here we go. 917676. Peace.
Peace. How you doing, Akeem?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Uh, could be much better, man. Just found out my sister has stage 4 stomach cancer. So,
oh man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, but so I have a couple questions. One, does CPN still work? That's one question.
Yeah, well, yes and no. The
okay,
old way, no. The new way, the way I teach it now, don't go putting because they asking for that social on there. What I tell people now, call in and do it, and tell them you don't give the social. But what you do is you have your CPM profile. Just say you have your CPM profile all ready to go to get credit. Say that. You call them up.
Oh well, I don't even have a CPM. I'm just asking in general, just like
Well, that's
Because I've
why
been
I'm
hearing
trying to
some places,
explain to
some
you
say
what
they
to do so you'll know what to do. I'm trying to explain to you what you need to do. So,
oh,
say if you have a, just say, let's skip to the part that you don't have one, but you have one that's all set up, ready to go. You'll understand this once you get to this part. Do not fill out an application anymore and put down a CPN number that is not, because right, they ask you specifically for the SSN, right? Don't do that anymore because they have
right.
now created laws that if you fill out the application and it misrepresent, they can come after you. I don't want you to get in trouble. So what I'm telling you to do now, have your profile all ready to go that is not anything connected to the social, and just call in and say, I don't give my social, and give them that proof, that information, the name, the address, date of birth. You say I don't give my social.
Oh, okay,
Right. And then
okay.
they'll run
Got
it
you.
without, they'll
Okay,
use like your ID, make sure the ID you use is not connected to any old information. That's just a brief generalized situation. I have, in my private membership, I go into more detail. I'm just kind of give you a general thing. What I
got
do.
it, got it. Okay,
They'll,
all
how they
right,
do. Yeah,
all
you
right. No,
just call them up. You
I
can
got
do
you. Now,
that.
this
People didn't know they can call. I don't give out my social. Just give them the information that you want to give them that doesn't because you're trying to protect your identity through you don't have to give out the social to private entities. So that's
okay.
the way to go
Now,
right
okay, good. Okay, now the second thing, right now, at least hopefully temporarily, I'm on SSD, because of injury and what have you,
now. SSD is what?
and I'm
Is that
hoping, uh,
disability?
you know, disability, yes.
Okay, gotcha.
So my, huh?
I said I got you.
So
I
my
understand what you're
question
saying.
to you, yeah, my question to you is, if I wanted to get the thing with the, change the status with the
That won't
license
affect that.
and the
That won't
passport,
affect that. That won't affect
it won't
that.
it
Don't
won't
have
affect
anything
that?
to do with that. No, because you got to remember the SSD is collected through the straw man, right? You're just
Right.
trying to put on record who you are. The straw man is always going to be the same. That social's never changing. That is a U.S. citizen. That's their property. You're just separating it. In your affidavit, you're separating yourself from that. Just saying, I'm not this. You're not going to think of me as one of the same as what you put on this social security card. That's all you're doing. So, no, it will not affect that. You'll still be able to get the money. The money is going to the straw man. Now, what I recommend you do is create a trust account and have that money going to your trust account, like your irrevocable trust account with the bank.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, I see. So let me ask you this. Because I also owe some past loans and student loans type stuff. Is that going to affect that?
Why would it? No. Now, when I
It
first
wouldn't.
taught the how to correct the passport, student loans were just disappearing off people's credit. Like they just wiped them off. I never taught people, that's why you're asking me this question. I never promoted that process as it will get rid of your student loans. I never did that because it
Right.
didn't happen for everyone. But it
Right.
happened for a large majority of people for me to say that that was the reason why. But I never teach people, yeah, it's going to get rid of your student loans. I don't know. I still don't know why it did it. First person I knew that it did
Hmm.
it for was my son. Then after that, I started
Hmm.
to see this pattern. So, yes, that's possible. We'll get rid of student loans. It is possible, but I
My
don't know.
cousin is my cousin is asking me, because I think he's IRS thing. What can he do that if he has IRS bills or no?
If it's over $50,000 or more, they're gonna deny the passport. So you got to handle the
Okay.
IRS issue first, which I can help with that.
Okay.
Before you apply. If it's over 50, if it's under 50, no, you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Child support is another thing.
Okay.
The old child support over 2,500, they can prevent you from getting the passport.
Okay.
That's if they put you on a
All right. Okay.
certification list. Yeah.
Right. 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 No, it's good to know. Okay, man.
Uh-huh.
Good stuff, man.
All right, peace.
Thank
All
you.
right. Excellent questions. Excellent questions. Who's next? Who wants to get up? He came in and asked some questions. Still nobody coming up trying to talk to me about this whole 1099. Hey, no, they're not going to do it. No, they're not. They're not. I can put my money on it that nobody's coming up here. Somebody might have a comment about it, but someone come up here with actual proof. That's on the level of the boogeyman. Oh, what's somebody saying? One Mike said they were telling me so. Said my dogs went all Cujo and they were Yorkies. Yeah, Yorkies going Cujo. That's crazy. Those are usually very good, fun-loving dogs. Uh, man, listen to your dogs next time. Yeah, some gonna lick, some gonna bark. You're right. I love dogs, man. I love dogs. The reason why they're like so loyal, no matter what. You could be gone for a long time, and the dog will come up and love on you and go nuts every time. They're the same way every time they see you. You know. Who's next? 563-999-365. You got 15 minutes because I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off. What letter can be sent with password that will also get rid of student loans? What? uh, there's no specific letter. It's just your affidavit that says who your nationality is. No letter. And the letter that I've been using is on my website. Like I said, I don't guarantee nobody that affidavit will help get rid of student loans. It just happened. It's an anomaly. And I know what people have done is heard my shows, and then they go try to repackage what I say and say, yeah, you do this, it's going to get rid of student loans so they can sell you on something. No, I don't know if it's going to get rid of student loans or not. I just know when we did it, a lot of people's student loans just fell off after they did the process. That's all I know. I don't know why. I researched it, tried to get that information. It did not. Uh, I don't know. So to ask me what letter, no, there is no specific letter. Okay. Now the specific letter that will get rid of student loans is the one that I sent that went directly to the student loan people that try to collect money. That get rid of student loans. I got proof of that. I listen. Somebody put 609A1. I'm gonna put it up here. Fair Credit Reporting Act 609A101 is the law for the letter. No, I didn't use not. See, that's misinformation. I didn't use one piece of law in that letter. I didn't use any law. All I said was what I just told y'all. I said something to the fact of what I just told y'all. See, this is how I keep people get off track. When you start putting these laws in there and all that, then you're not going to get the results I got. I just said some specific things, like I just told you. That's what got it off. No law, no 609, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, this and that. I didn't say anything like that. Totally different from the other letter that I've been using. Okay? So does 1099 work if a CPN does it? See, I don't know what you're talking about. You can't. The way my CPA does the 1099s, you cannot use the CPN. You have to use the actual EIN. Let me help you understand what a CPN is. CPN is a credit profile number, but that could be an EIN, that could be your social, or any 9-digit number you're using for your credit report. Okay? So that's a CPN. So yeah, you got to use an EIN number for your trust for the 1099A. Yes, it's kind of that question is too general for me to really give you a good answer. But no, I didn't use any. I see the 609A1 is something they've been teaching for years. And I discovered years ago when they were teaching it that they were misapplying that in their letters. Now, the reason why it worked in the beginning is because the people weren't reading the letters. And then when they start seeing those letters flood everywhere, they stopped letting it work. All right, let's go to 904-586, please.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. I do have a question on the 1099A.
Yeah.
So I have you can say pretty much nothing. Well, I got some things done, but nothing that I think would affect the 1099A.
Ask me your
So
question, bro.
I'm like a regular.
Ask me a question. Go ahead.
Yeah. So is it actually like a? Could you sign the back and use it as a check?
Bro,
I've
you
heard,
have not been listening to the show from the beginning, I take it. Have you listened to the show from the beginning?
I apologize. I haven't. I
Okay.
apologize. You're right.
And I've done other shows on this. Here it is. I've heard people tell me that I can use it as a check, but there's no proof that it works. It's just people talking and saying that it works. No. So in my opinion, no, it doesn't work. That doesn't work using it as a check. If you try that, you can run into some legal problems with law enforcement or just waste your time, one or the other. So just letting you know. No.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it.
Right.
I was
I'm
so
not,
my
I'm just,
so the week.
Go ahead.
The reason I did, if I wanted to use it, would actually be kind of what you're talking about with student loans. But I do have the letter that you just said. I got that information.
That's all you
actually,
need to give
so
with
I'll
student loans.
definitely.
You don't need no 1099 to give with student loans. So what I just taught you, and that's what I got rid of my student loans back in 2016, 2017 on just a simple. The letter that I used before was more complicated. The new letter is really simple, which worked faster than the old letter. So I just gave y'all the source. Use that, and you get some results. You don't need to try all these fancy.
Does that need to be notarized?
Not necessarily, but I would do it. I would definitely get it notarized. You don't have to, but I would get it notarized. The one I did was notarized. I didn't do it. Let me
Good to go.
They did it. He did it. I didn't. I just told them to get it notarized, and then they sent it certified terms.
Good to go. And so, and that's to the CEOs of the company?
No, just send it to the dispute department. That's it. All that
right.
CEO, CFO, that's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. That's another thing they be telling y'all to do all that stuff. And I ain't never seen no results from that. All you do is get their attorney coming back at you. This stuff's fraudulent. Stop messing with me. They give it off to their assistant, and they blow you off. Everything I've gotten results from, I just sent it to the regular dispute where they handle it.
Got it.
That's all. I did it very simple. Let me help you understand something. All of these people that's trying to tell you to send it off to these fancy people, that's more fluff. Get you caught up. That's fluff. There's rules to the game, and they tell you if you have a dispute, you send it here. That department handles. That's all they do all day is disputes. Okay, payoff department. You got to pay off a thing. There was this thing, court of satisfaction. Send it to the CFO and all that. See, you're not going to be the only one who's done this. And they see this stuff. The CFO see this. Just think about it. If you was the boss of a company, right? And you have employees, right? You have employees in different departments handling different things. What are you going to be doing with a debt collection? Absolutely nothing, because you're so out of tune. But running the damn company, that ain't even your area of expertise. Put that on the people that handle it, right?
Right.
So there you go. All of these teachers that they've been teaching for years, CFO, CEO, COO, throw that stuff in the trash, man. I know I'm coming in and I'm upsetting the apple cart because everybody out there is saying all of that stuff. But I'm telling you, from my experience, I have never gotten any results with that. I've got more results just sending it to the department that handles it. See? That's how I got. Yeah, it's simple. Listen, you know life is simple, right? It's simple.
Yes.
We make it complicated. And when you listening to all of that stuff and they give you the complicated, convoluted stuff, that's usually a lot of lies packed in. It's simple. I just gave you a simple thing. And the reason why you and other people are asking more questions, because they so used to all of these complicated, convoluted things, they don't believe that it's that simple. Trust me, it is. Trust me. Everything is so simple. And when you see it, it's like, oh Lord, this is all I had to do. See, because the higher consciousness is simple. It don't have any fluff. It don't have all the extra stuff. When you come from the higher consciousness in your mind, it's very simple. It's yes and no. There's no side roads, all these complications. Just straight to the point. And you'll see this. The more you do this, it sounds like you kind of needed this information. Are you need this information? Doing these things?
Relatively new, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad I caught you when you knew. I'm glad. But if you
Me
could
too,
just,
man. Me too.
yeah, if you could just mark my words, brother, and just save yourself a lot of aggravations and keep it simple, you would go a long way with getting some results. Over
That's
ninety
what's up.
thousand
That's
dollars
what's
worth of
up.
student loans got taken care of just off that one simple technique. I just no, not one law is quoted in it. Not one page. That's it. And then
Yeah, I have sent a
anybody
letter
can read it,
before.
you know.
Yeah. I sent a letter before doing a rescission of contract with Navient,
You
and
don't
it
have to.
like they
See,
just didn't
here's the
respond.
problem with rescission, my brother. Here's the problem. That's an admission of guilt.
Damn.
That's the problem. You're not admitting to anything. I just need you to wrap your head around this and understand what evidence is to the court. Evidence is this in a court. Someone with first-hand knowledge of the facts therein, meaning someone who knows exactly what happened in that transaction. So you probably got on late when I explained this. So
Yeah, okay, yeah, that made more
when
sense
you
now.
did the loan, whenever you did this loan, this alleged loan, who was there to watch you sign for the loan? Who was there? Just give me just how that seems.
It was some lady at a desk. I don't know who she
The
is.
student loan people, right? At the school.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
not a good witness for them. Why? Because she works for the school. She doesn't work for the bank that authorized the letter.
And they couldn't find it if they wanted to.
Loan.
Probably the school closed.
Say it again.
They couldn't find it if they
That's
wanted to.
brother. That's even better. You got nobody to say that you actually did this. Nothing. Zero.
Wow.
See, that's how the court of law works. It works off evidence. It's not whether it could be true, it could be not true. But they can't go by what you think is true and what you think is not true. They got to go by the evidence. And the evidence, if the evidence is not there to support the claim, then therefore it doesn't exist.
Yeah, and I think so. I know for sure. Actually, Navient has updated. They have given all of their loans to a company called Aid Vantage. So it's like all the loans that were with Navient.
Here's my thing. So they gave it to the other company. Did you sign a loan with the other company?
No, I didn't.
So
they did. They sent me some stuff in the mail.
Anything on you? You never made it into a contract with them for nothing. They don't have a right to report anything positive or negative on you because you don't have a contract with them, and they can't go get one. They may try to pull up a contract from where you start the loan, which is virtually impossible in this world.
Right.
So there's no evidence to support the claim that you even owe 1 red cent. And that's all I'm trying to get y'all to understand. I'm not saying whether you did or you didn't, but can they prove you did? And if they can't prove it, then they can't come and get it. That's all I'm saying.
Got it. Proof of claim. All right, man. That's what's up. I really appreciate the knowledge, man. You definitely save me some time. I'm gonna have this done soon, very soon.
Send it out, brother, and let me know what's going on. Get a constant. This is what I want.
I'm gonna do that, man.
Before you send that letter out, get a consultation with me so I can make sure. Because I just gave y'all just some elements. But when you get a consultation with me, I can go deeper.
All right. I'm going to take you up on that. You'll be hearing from me, Daniel Jenkins.
All right.
Yes, sir.
There you go, brother. All right. Peace.
All right.
Thanks for the good questions, by the way. Good questions. All right. Have a good one. All right. Somebody said this. I'm glad somebody said this. I would do a conditional acceptance since they had no contract. I would lien them. Go ahead and do that. See, that's another crap. And listen, I'm not trying to insult you, my brother. One mic so focused. Right now, that statement is one mic unfocused. No pun intended. Why would you do a conditional acceptance? I just gave you a simple goddamn way to do it that is proven and has worked. And here you go with the conditional acceptance that everybody else is talking about. Conditional acceptance of what? Let's look up the definition of conditional acceptance. My God. Y'all just got to make shit just so damn complicated. Y'all so used to listening to them damn. Tell me, I tell you what, when have you done a conditional acceptance and it actually worked? Here it is. This is a definition of a conditional acceptance. Let me share this. See what you actually, y'all keep talking about this whole, give me a second. There we go. Boom. Give me 1 second, because of course, I'm about to share something with y'all. That. All right. This is what conditional acceptance means. Conditional admission, also called provisional admission or conditional acceptance, means that you will be admitted to a college on the condition that you make up certain requirement you do not presently. So basically, when you do a conditional acceptance, you're giving them another admission. Why you want to do that? I owe the money under these conditions. And if you can't meet these conditions, no. Basically, how I wrote you, I didn't say conditional acceptance, but really that's kind of on the lines. I'm saying, dude, all I'm saying is you're trying to get money from me. I never did anything with you. I don't know who you are. Y'all strangers. Y'all reporting this like it's fact. And I don't know show me where I did anything with you. That's all you got to do. Man, how many times I got to say that? God damn. And okay, he do that so he can lien them for trespassing. Okay, you lien them, and what you going to get out of a lien? All you're going to get out of a lien, putting a lien on these entities, is you can't lien anybody unless you take them into court, sue them, get a judgment against them that they harmed you, and they owe you, get a money judgment, then you can lien that money judgment. That's the only way. But if you just go and just put a lien on somebody, you're going to end up in front of the law and have problems. Just like, warning you, because that's not how you put a lien. You can only put a lien unless you went through the due process of taking them to court and suing them. And you got a judge to agree with you, and he wrote a judgment against them, and now you want that money, and they're not paying you, so you lien them until they pay you. This is like the IRS send you a letter. You owe me $5,000. And then you ignore the letter and said, well, we're going to put a lien on you. Ignore this letter. Then they put a lien on you. Now, even see, the IRS gets away with that because they're the IRS. But even that's not giving you due process, and so you can undo that. You must be heard in a court of law and get due process. And they have to prove that you owe the money, then get the lien. Get a money judgment. But everybody else, regular folks, businesses outside of the IRS, have to go get a money judgment against you. They got to get an order saying that you owe, and then they get an order to get a lien to put on you. And they execute that lien with the sheriff against your property. The IRS always doing the due process. That's how come I can get fix that, because I know they're not using due process. I'm not saying what the IRS does is right, but they do it. When have you used IRS to put a lien? I've never used one to put a lien on nobody. That's one Mike Focus. Let him. That's all of what Mike Focus is talking about. The stuff that run on is right on the line of the 1099 A's and all of that other stuff. All fantasy processes that don't really get any results. No offense when Mike's so unfocused. So focused. I got you. See, I want you to be focused on the right thing, not on the wrong thing. And right now, all that stuff you're talking about is not focusing on remedy. It's focused on just doing processes. You know how many people put liens out there? And you know, on the FBI website, I read it the other day, that's one of the things admitting they call sovereign citizens, they put liens on people. And they're going to treat you like a sovereign citizen. No, I'm not trying to put a lien on it because I know the rules of liens. Why would I put a lien on somebody when I know it's a waste of time? And I've seen so many other people like yourself doing it and nothing get. Here's the question, one Mike so focused. Here's the question. This is your question. Wait up, bro. Have you tried it and not gotten remedy? No, I have not tried it. I've seen so many people fail at it. So it's a waste of my time. And then when I studied the rules, I wouldn't do it. That's why I'm telling you not to do it. Now, let me ask you a question. When have you tried it and gotten it? That's the question. You're the ones, you're promoting that, not me. When have you tried it? Good question, Kim. Has he tried it? That's a good question. That's my question. Here it is. When have you tried it and it worked? Waiting. Okay, you have, and so you put the lien, and what happened with the child support? And it's working. How is it working? Hey, why don't you do this? Call in and get on the line and let's discuss this. Let's pick this apart. 563-999-3615. Let's pick it apart. Get on the line. I'll wait. I'm in. So you're getting checks back after you put a lien on it. Okay, sounds good. So it works. Sounds good if that's true. Sounds good. Let's hear this one. I'd love to hear this one. He said, hold on, he gonna get on the line. He gonna get on the line. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Still ain't get on yet. Still ain't there yet. He said ring, ring. Okay. Press the 1 button so I know it's you. Is this your 804 number? Is this you? Press 1. Well, I'm gonna make that assumption that it's you because it's a new number. Okay, there you go. You press 1. You heard. One mic soul focus. What's up? Peace. Let's talk about it. All right.
What's up, bro? What's going on?
Everything's good. How you doing?
Man, yeah, everything's going all right so far, so good. I gotta let everybody know that okay, when you dealing with these people, you know, a lot of people don't realize that the whole situation is a tax.
Well, we know all of that. We don't need to get all of the
It's a
tax.
tax.
I've heard that theory
Okay,
so
yeah,
many times.
and then
it is a tax, but
yeah, and at the same time, they say it's a loan.
I want to stay focused.
Okay.
We don't want to get into all of that.
All right.
I want to get into
cool.
You said you put a lien on it. Let's start with
Mm-hmm.
How did you do this lien? Was it UCC?
Okay,
lien?
so
what was it?
nah. See, the whole thing is you don't want to end up using any of that shit from the state.
Okay.
You want to be able to use the conditional acceptance. A lot of people fail to realize that it is a tax, and they say that the presumption is that you took out a loan, but there's no contract. And what they said you took a loan out for, they didn't give you overall full disclosure, saying that how much they took out.
Okay, my question is, what
So
are we
that's
talking about? We
obviously
talking
fraud.
about child support, or are we talking about a regular?
Child support, bro.
Okay, you saying
child
they took
support.
out a loan. Okay, so we still not at the point of. You said you put a lien and they're giving you checks back. So that's the part where I think every listener listening is interested.
Okay. Well, you got to let me explain from the beginning. I can't just jump over when I'm giving it full detail for everybody to actually see
without going into all to the whole full story.
I was trying to tell you before you cut me off.
Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna let you go. Go
ahead. Okay, so a lot of people don't realize it's about the overall disclosure. They didn't give us overall disclosure of that, saying that you received a loan or you had a loan, you had a contract, and you agreed to it. Nobody
knows that part. What you're saying is nothing new to me or most.
For the ones that don't know, we got to make sure they know.
Yeah, but brother, come on. If let me just give you an example.
You want me to get straight to the meat and the potatoes?
That's what I'm asking you, because
situation.
It's like you're teaching a lesson on what the loan is, they loaned you money. People want to know exactly what you did. Go ahead.
Well, see, the whole thing is when they dip into that social and you have all of that information there and they got that loan, you put the burden of proof on them with the conditional acceptance. Ain't no more writing out papers and trying to do all of that other shit on your own. That doesn't make any sense. What you want to do is you want to come at them for the taxes. Because at the same time, they said they got a loan, which they did on a presumption of fraud and duress. So now you say, hey, if I'm the beneficiary over that public trust and I never got the proceeds to that, then somebody got to pay the taxes and it ain't going to be me. So you send the IRS after them. And when you do it with the conditional acceptance, you make sure you notify people on that higher level to what's going on. That way they could have been given notice. See, a lot of people go to jail because of that lien shit because they don't put the proper people on notice. When you put the proper people on notice, now it's game on. Because you let them know, listen, this is what's going on. They're stealing, they're frauding, and they didn't pay the taxes. They're a company. They're not really an agency. They're a 9-to-5 company, and they do not pay the taxes. And that's where they get caught up at. So now they're like, oh, shit, he's the beneficiary. Until you come forth, you'll always be a pseudo-trustee. You'll always be the one taking the hit, taking the liability, all of that. But when you sick them dogs on them, it's over.
What dogs are you
put in the claim of lien?
That's the question. What dogs are you sicking on?
Okay, let's start with the mayor.
Okay.
The governor.
Okay.
Secretary of the Treasury.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
And when it comes down to them courts are nothing but banks. They're stealing under the presumption that they're getting along and getting a cut.
Brother, I
put them
let
on.
you go for like 3 minutes and we still ain't getting to the meat. We're not getting to. You said you're getting checks. Are you getting checks back?
All right.
You're getting checks back.
Yeah.
Okay. What kind of checks? What are these checks?
Yes. Conditional acceptance is what you do first. Then you do the claim of lien. Straight from the claim of lien. Then everybody's talking about contracts. Form a contract with the IRS. You give them that information and listen, here's my claim of lien for them not responding. Go get them.
Okay. Okay, so who sends you the check?
So when you get those checks back,
Who's sending you this check?
Treasury.
The Treasury sending you check. So
Treasury.
you have copies of these checks?
Yes. Copies? No. I don't really want to put my information out there.
Okay, no.
You got. I won't put my info out there.
Okay, so you got proof, but you do have proof that you got these checks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't want you to put your information out. You can send me something that's redacted.
I don't really want to put my shit out there. Put it to you this way. I want everybody to know.
Well, you didn't tell anybody nothing. What you told people is what I've always, everything you said, I've heard that a million times. What you just said. You said do the conditional acceptance, put the proper people on notice, do your lien, and then sick the IRS on them. You know how many times I've heard that?
The IRS goes after them. You don't go after them.
I've seen that
too.
The
main reason why people get caught up is because
I've seen people sick the IRS. Now, I will say something about the IRS. I've seen a guy many years ago. He did some form that said that they weren't paying the taxes, and the IRS went after the judge. I've seen that. I mean, I've seen pretty much a lot of stuff, and I'm, like what you're saying is pretty much on par with what I've heard before. So that's why I'm on you about the proof, because I've heard this before and I haven't seen the evidence of that actually working. Now, I'm not saying you telling the truth or not. I'm just saying for me to believe that works, that I've seen people do like over and over and over again, maybe you did something a little different that made it work. I don't know, but I can't. What you're telling me is not proof to
me. You got to do your own due diligence, brother.
I'm done, brother. I got a box full of due diligence. Well, actually, a couple of boxes full of due diligence. It's you.
Respect on that all day.
Okay, I was saying something. You came into the chat and you said you started to teach and tell people what they should do. I'm here putting you on I gave you the floor so that you could tell people what they need to do and how they need to do it and what proof you got. When I came on last week and said I got rid of 90-something thousand worth of loans, what I did was I pull up a screenshot of a redacted paper showing the people sent from the company saying that the student loans were paid in full. That's, to me, that's proof. Am I asking for a lot? Is that too much? Am I? You could white out your information. You don't have
not really.
You don't have to say your name on it. All you gotta do is show proof of the checks. You know what I mean? You can go get your bank statements and white out your account number, your name, and all that, and just show the entries whether you deposit those checks in the bank. You see what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying, but
that's all I'm at. See, I can't take your words into court and say this is proof. They'll laugh me out of court with that. That's why I keep trying to tell people proof is showing the evidence of something that actually happened or didn't happen. You see what I'm saying? That's proof. And once you understand what proof, this is why I win so much, because I challenge the proof. Yeah, we're not saying I did or did anything. You show me this, that I actually did something, then we could talk. After that, we there's no jurisdiction here. There's no subject matter jurisdiction. There's no personal jurisdiction because you don't have proof that I even performed any act or didn't perform an act. That's all.
Yeah, but you see, the situation is different. Like, have you ever been on child support before, brother?
Yes, I was.
I mean, I'm asking you man to man.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Have you ever defeated your case?
No. I did. But that was, when I was on child, I'm 52 years old. My the son that I was on child support is 30 years old. So I was on it many years ago. And how I defeated the child support, I went into court and told them I was moving and I don't know what I was going to make it. They suspended the child support indefinitely and they never came back. And then at that time, me and his mom got on good standing, and she just sent him to live with me. So I never had to pay it again. I paid off the little bit of $35
Okay, but you see
that I
that.
owed. I paid that off, and I never heard from him again. I didn't know anything about child support, how to beat it. I didn't start learning this until 7 years ago. Yes, I have been on child support.
Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah, but the whole
the way
thing
I
is, though,
beat it
brother,
was through
Mhm.
getting into better terms with his mother. That's how I beat it. I didn't do it to any.
Yeah, but some people don't have it like that. You know, if things would be good like that.
On that. I'm gonna challenge you on that. Yes, are there women out there very difficult to be with? And my son's mother was a very difficult woman to be with. She's the definition of most of the ones that people deal with. She was a very difficult woman to deal with at the time. You know, 18, when she was
Right.
19, 20 years old, 20, 21 at the time. She was very difficult. In my eyes, she was. Okay? But what I realized is this. I understood this one fact about women that men do not want to admit. Is this. If I come in an honorable way and handle my business towards my son, no matter what she do, because one thing I told her, I said, there's nothing you can do that's going to get in the way of me having a good relationship with my son or taking care of my son. You can do whatever. I'm going to do what I need to do regardless. Now, and I also put it to her like this, and I looked her in the eye and I said that do not ever get in between me and my son, because that will be the day you and I will have some serious problems. And she took me seriously. Okay. Now that wasn't a threat or anything. I just told her this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna perform. I'm gonna do my thing. And guess what? I kept my word. I deal with guys on child support all the time. This is what the number one thing I see with a lot of guys I deal with. They'll tell the woman one thing and do another. And once you do that in a situation like that, she's never gonna trust you. She's going to go to the extreme because you broke your word. Is it fair or unfair? Sometimes you can't keep your word. And when I couldn't do something, I called her and said, listen, I know I said this. I was going to do this at a certain time. I can't do it this time, but this is when I'm going to do it. And she accepted that. See, I communicated. I didn't treat her like an enemy. She was still my son's mother, and I needed to have a decent relationship with her if we were going to raise a child that's going to have a good psychological profile coming. It wasn't perfect. And then after a while, as time went on, guess what? We didn't have any problems because I kept my word. I was reliable. She knew where I was. She knew what I was going to give her. Just because I wasn't paying child support to the system doesn't mean I wasn't helping or doing anything. Once I built up, took care of my end and kept my word and been a man about myself, then she respected me. A lot of you guys are not getting respect because y'all trying to force her to do something that she doesn't want to do, convince her instead of just leaving her alone and just you do your part and then she'll come along later. Because that's usually how it works. Women usually follow your lead after you prove yourself to be dependable. This does not mean that happens all the way, but in my life, y'all can say what you want. I have 3 baby mamas.
Well, I mean, hey, listen, brother,
hold on, brother.
Okay.
I know we on another subject, but every man need to hear what I'm about to say. I have 3 baby mamas. After the first one, I never was put on child support.
Respect.
None of the other ones. Never. You know why? Because they knew what type of man I was. I wasn't a good man for them, but they knew I was a good man for the children. And they never challenged me anything. Right now, my daughter lives with me. That's how trusted I am. Because when I say I'm going to do something for my children, I do it. I make it happen. I don't make excuses. I'm broke. I'm this and that. I don't make a woman don't want to hear those damn excuses about how much money you don't get. It's not your job to even tell her that. Your job is to, okay, I don't have it. How am I going to get it? That's your job. You don't give her. See, I never gave them excuses. I just, okay, right now it's a little, I'm going to get it done. Don't worry, I got you. Boom. That's all. That's it. Women about results. They ain't about all of this stories. But let's get back onto the topic. We still don't have the proof that we
Okay.
doing. If you're not willing to give me the proof that I'm asking for, then I guess we don't have much more to talk about.
I mean, to each his own. I definitely respect where you're coming from, but not that many people have that kind of honor to actually say, okay, well, I'm not going to put that man through that. Even though he's honorable, I'm not going to put that man through that, because you're still depending on the system that they give them the okay and the power to go ahead and be vindictive. That is not the way. The system wasn't meant or built or built for
They do
us.
give them the power, but I stripped the power away from her by being straight up. And when I needed to be serious, I was
Some people are mature enough to have that conversation.
Dude,
but today, in this day and age,
bro,
to each his own.
When you're telling me these stories, I listen, no one can tell me. I traveled all the way from South Carolina with $200 in my pocket to go pick up my son from New York. That's all I had. That was I don't even think it was that much. So I just had enough money to get gas and maybe buy something. Now, gas wasn't that expensive at the time. I don't even think it was. And $200 is not a lot to travel that far with, because what if I got a flat tire, the car broke down, all these things. I did that. I was dedicated. It wasn't about what she was doing, it's about what I needed to do. And I concentrated on myself and what I was doing. And through that, I built up a trust that she knows to this day that I got a certain level of respect that if I say something, it's real. I don't have to. Did we go back and forth in the beginning? Yes, I did all that young, stupid stuff. I did all that. Then the old man said, listen, stop arguing with that woman. Just do your part. And just, when she started bringing up drama, just ignore it. And when I took his advice, my life got so much better. And that's the problem.
Facts all day.
Be trying to bring up the drama and y'all be following that stuff up. Stop following. Okay, that's how you. Okay. Right now, my daughter's mom, my baby girl, I'm on the do not call list, meaning my number is blocked from even calling her. But I don't stress that.
Hey, it is what it is.
You see, because she don't want to hear me say certain things, like, you know, I ain't gonna go to all that person's stuff. But at the same time, where's my daughter at right now? She's at home at my house.
Majority of them don't want to hear the truth and be held accountable.
I know that, but it ain't my job to tell.
That's what that is.
I'm a wife now. I don't have to tell.
Exactly.
Even if I didn't, it ain't my job to tell her the truth. Let her live her life, do whatever the hell you want. My only focus is to take care of my daughter. That's the way I know how. That's it.
Facts.
That's all I need.
And that's what it's all about.
When she put me on the whole, cut me off from, calling her and blocking me. She did this. Has been like almost 2 years now. It's been a while. There were certain things I was still doing. Like I was paying internet bills over there, and I was paying the car insurance, the car that I had bought her. I was paying all of that stuff. I said, okay, you can have it that way, but guess what? I'm gonna give you the title of the car. Go get your own insurance. If we on that level where I can't even make a phone call, you don't get these benefits. And I stuck to it. See, being a man on your word is not just about what you do, what you say you're gonna do. Being a man of your word is, listen, you're not gonna get all these extra little benefits, and I can't even pick up the phone and just have a conversation about my daughter with you. You shut me down like that? Okay. The court already said I can have the car, but I gave you the car. So here's the car. Here's the title. Go get your own insurance. It's paid for. I paid for it. See, the problem with a lot of brothers, they're very immature. Sometimes it's pay to get people off your back. So paying for that car, paying it off and doing all that was a small price to pay to get rid of the drama out of my life.
To have peace of mind. Look what Will Smith is going through.
Right? I don't know. I see what they say.
You know what I'm
Will
saying?
Smith
Sometimes you just can't. You gotta have peace of mind.
I don't know what him and Jada is doing. That's just what the media is saying. I haven't sat down with Will nor have I sat down with Jada, so I can't really be sure about what's going on. That could just be all theatrics to keep them relevant. Who knows? You know.
That's true. That's true. Movie stuff, actor stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
right, brother.
the whole thing is you got to go ahead and put that in there.
I got to go make sure my daughter's okay, get to the house. But my email, hindsight1027@gmail. If you want to send me your redacted documents, I'll be happy to retract everything I say and say, yo, this brother showed me proof. And he was real about what he said. All right.
I didn't really want to show too much in the public, but I appreciate you having me on there.
In the public, and we can negotiate on what you want me to talk about. I'll control. I don't have to say exactly, but if you send me and I say, oh, it's proof, then I come on and say, yes, that brother that came on last week, he was real. He was real about what he was saying. Okay. All right. All right. Peace.
Really, bro. Appreciate you.
All
right. All
right, y'all. He said the checks came from the Treasury, y'all. Yeah. All right, y'all. That's the end of the show. We got a couple of good calls. Everybody came in, was a gentleman. Thanks for coming in. We didn't agree on everything, but you came in, and that was man enough to do that anyway. I respect that. But anyway, remember, we got the seminar coming up April 23rd in New Orleans. The best place to get food. I will show it again so y'all can see it. Wherever that is. There it is on the screen. It's Saturday, April 23rd, 10 a.m. to 4. That's not that far away. I hope to see you all there. All right, remember the show, Independent Thinking Show, is on Sunday. Thursday is Divine Connection Show. My son hasn't been doing this show because he's been driving them trucks. He wore out, but he hopes to be back soon. All right. And with that being said, everybody, peace.